Did you know that the average person spends over 2 hours a day on social media platforms? Social media has become an essential part of our daily routine, providing us with a means to connect with others, stay informed, and share our lives. However, while social media can have positive impacts on our mental health, it can also have surprising and negative consequences. In today's video, we'll explore the impact of social media on mental health and reveal some surprising facts about how it affects our well-being. Whether you're a social media addict or a casual user, this video is for you. So, sit back, relax, and prepare to discover the hidden truth about social media and mental health. Social media has been found to have a significant impact on our self-esteem, particularly when it comes to comparing ourselves to others. On social media, people often present a carefully curated version of themselves, highlighting their successes, positive experiences, and most flattering photos. As a result, we may perceive others as having more positive qualities, experiences, and lives than ourselves, leading to feelings of inadequacy and low self-esteem. A study published in the journal Computers in Human Behavior found that frequent social media use was associated with lower self-esteem and higher levels of anxiety and depression. Another study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that when participants spent more time on social media, they reported feeling more envy and had a lower self-esteem. It's important to note that not everyone is equally affected by social media when it comes to self-esteem. Those who are already prone or who have a history of depression or anxiety may be more vulnerable to the negative effects. To mitigate the negative impact of social media on self-esteem, it's important to be aware of our social media use and limit our exposure to potentially triggering content. We can also work on building our self-esteem by focusing on our strengths and accomplishments, practicing self-compassion, and seeking support from trusted friends or professionals. It's also important to remember that social media is not a reflection of reality. People often present a carefully curated version of themselves, and it's important to recognize that we are all human and have both positive and negative experiences. By focusing on our own journey and not comparing ourselves to others, we can improve our self-esteem and mental well-being in the age of social media. Social media can also have a negative impact on body image. The constant exposure to images of the ideal body can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction with our own bodies, leading to negative body image and eating disorders. A study published in the International Journal of Eating Disorders found that exposure to social media images of thin, fit, and attractive bodies was associated with increased body dissatisfaction and disordered eating behaviors. Another study published in the journal Body Image found that frequent social media use was associated with increased body dissatisfaction and appearance-focused behaviors. The pressure to present a perfect image on social media can also lead to a phenomenon known as selfie dysmorphia, where people seek out cosmetic procedures to achieve the idealized appearance. To promote a healthy body image, it's important to curate our social media feeds to include positive and diverse body representations. We can also work on building a positive relationship with our own bodies by practicing self-care, challenging negative self-talk, and seeking professional support if needed. It's also important to recognize that social media is not an accurate representation of reality. Many images on social media are edited, filtered, or posed to create a perfect appearance that may not be attainable or sustainable in real life. By acknowledging the unrealistic nature of social media and focusing on our own health and well-being, we can reduce the negative impact on body image and mental health. Social media has transformed the way we connect with others, but it can also have a negative impact on our relationships and mental health. The constant need for validation and attention on social media can lead to a decrease in meaningful face-to-face interactions, and an increase in loneliness and social isolation. A study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found that social media use was associated with increased feelings of social isolation and loneliness, particularly among those who used social media more frequently. Another study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that social media use was associated with decreased intimacy in romantic relationships and increased conflict and jealousy. The pressure to present a perfect image can also lead to inauthentic and shallow relationships, where people are more concerned with likes and followers than genuine connections with others. The constant comparison to others can also lead to feelings of jealousy, resentment, and FOMO, fear of missing out. To promote healthy relationships, it's important to prioritize meaningful face-to-face interactions and limit our social media use. We can also work on building authentic and supportive relationships by being vulnerable, practicing empathy and active listening, and seeking out like-minded individuals in our communities. It's also important to recognize the potential downsides and set healthy boundaries for ourselves. This may include taking regular breaks, unfollowing or muting accounts that trigger negative emotions, and seeking professional support if needed to address issues related to social isolation or relationship difficulties. Social media use has been linked to a range of mental health disorders, including anxiety, depression, and addiction. The constant exposure to potentially triggering content, and the pressure to present a perfect image on social media can contribute to the development or exacerbation of these conditions. A study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health found that social media use was associated with increased symptoms of anxiety and depression among adolescents. Another study published in the journal Addictive Behaviors found that excessive social media use was associated with higher levels of addiction and decreased mental well-being. Social media use can also contribute to the development of cyberbullying, a form of bullying that occurs online. Cyberbullying can have serious consequences for mental health, including increased symptoms of depression and anxiety, social isolation, and even suicidal ideation. To promote mental health, it's important to be aware of our social media use and limit our exposure to potentially triggering content. We can also work on building healthy coping mechanisms for dealing with stress and negative emotions, such as mindfulness, exercise, or creative outlets. If you are experiencing symptoms of anxiety, depression, or addiction related to social media use, it's important to seek professional support from a mental health provider. They can help develop strategies for managing our social media use and address underlying mental health concerns. It's also important to recognize the potential downsides and prioritize our mental well-being above the pressure to present a perfect image, or maintain a constant online presence. By being mindful of our social media use and seeking support when needed, we can promote our mental health and well-being. Please like and subscribe so we can reach more people, and check out my self-help playlists for a better peace of mind. Thank you for watching.